Top.
Good morning. My name is Douglas Geiger, and I'm the Director of Student Affairs at the Harris School of Public Policy. It is my pleasure to welcome you today as we award degrees to our 2016 Harris School graduates. I would like to first introduce Jeremy Edwards, Senior Associate Dean for Academic and Student Affairs, to share some thoughts with our graduates today. Jeremy.
Greetings, everyone. It's my pleasure on behalf of the faculty and the administration of the Harris School to welcome all of you here today. As you heard the president say earlier, today is truly a special day, and everybody in this room in some shape or form has contributed to the success and progress that we celebrate today. We celebrate the accomplishments of our graduates, but we also celebrate the accomplishments of the parents and families in the room that have provided our students with the motivation, the leadership, the mentorship, the comfort, and for some of you, the financial support, because I know, to allow our graduates to thrive during their time here at the University of Chicago. But today we also celebrate the Harris School. We've all heard before that it takes a village to raise a child, but I believe in the same way it takes a village to educate the next generation of thinkers and leaders. Our faculty teach, they challenge, and they mentor. Our staff provide the mechanisms and infrastructure to ensure our students can truly excel at the Harris School. We are all part of the recipe, and today I want to acknowledge and show my personal gratitude to everyone that has put in the extra hours, the extra thought, the extra care and effort to make the student experience at the Harris School memorable and indeed impactful. And to the graduates, as a recipient of a diploma of the University of Chicago, you now carry a very unique obligation to be a driver of serious and positive influence in the world. As a graduate of the Harris School, many will look to you for answers. And I can assure you, you now have the skills, the careful understanding, and the confidence to do it. You are now prepared to solve the most complicated and important issues we face. For example, the waters will stop rising because of you. Access to clean water for all will become possible because of you. Diseases, cyber attacks, and global violence will be prevented and eradicated because of you. People will be fed, people will be healthy, people will be heard, employed, housed, and respected because of you. Governments all over the world will function better because of you. The things that are unfair will become fair, the things that are unknown will become known, all because of you. You will discover solutions to problems that only previous generations could only dream about. And you will solve those problems in the face of many telling you that they are unsolvable. On behalf of the faculty and administration, I'd like to say that we are eager to watch you do it, and good luck. This year, I'm also thrilled to introduce the first ever student speaker at the Harris School hooding ceremony. Many of you know that I'm a firm believer that the student voice is crucial to who we are here at Harris. It is indeed the most authentic narrative that we can offer here at the Harris School. This year, our student speaker is Jose Rafael Espinosa. Jose is from Colombia, and before coming to Harris on a Fulbright fellowship, Jose worked as a researcher at a Colombia-based human rights think tank that works on strengthening the rule of law and promoting human rights. Jose graduated from the University of the Andes in Bogota with a BA in political science, a JD, and an LLM degree, where he was also a lecturer in comparative law. His focus at Harris has been on economics, law, and human rights, with an interest in using evidence-based analysis to advance international development. Please join me in welcoming our 2016 student speaker, Jose Rafael Espinosa.
Hello, everyone. This is a strange role. As a student speaker, I am supposed to talk today in the name of the students, but I'm also expected to talk to the other students, given that we are all gathered here for the last time. I will try to do both. First, in the name of the students, I want to thank all the people at Harris, those who left and those who are still here today, all the way from the dean to those anonymous people that did their part to allow us to have this experience that concludes today. I want to thank the faculty, administration, and all of the students that truly engaged and enhanced the Harris community. Thank you for your hard work. Thank you, Harris, for all the good memories you will give us. Kerwin's beautiful sweater vests. Bad policy. Robert's lunch thief. So I actually think this is a good moment, Robert. I want to confess, I was the lunch thief. Great sandwiches. I know. Thank you. Let's treasure and remember the good moments of these 2 years. After all, the good life is simply the sum of good memories. I also want to thank our families. Thank you for your support, patience, and love. And as Jeremy said, in many cases, thank you for your money. A mi familia que está aquí, muchas gracias por su amor y apoyo sin límites ni condiciones. We're graduating, and it's time to go out there and use our data-driven Harris credentials wisely. I want to use this last gathering to reflect on how to do data-driven policy in an empathetic and socially responsible way. Data-driven policy, or a misconception of it, entails numerous challenges, but let me focus on 3. First, there is a risk of a bias in the selection of our priorities. It is fair to say that the magnitude of the policy problems out in the world outweighs our individual capacity to address them. We, now socially committed policy experts, are a limited resource while policy problems seem to be unlimited. So, deliberately or not, every day we're making a call. We are choosing where to focus our attention, our daily efforts, our skills learned at Harris, and where not to. If we let data play an excessive role in this call, there is a risk that we will always choose which policy problems to address based on the availability of data and not the other way around. Or when addressing a complex problem, we might choose to frame it in terms of a dimension for which we have data and leave the other dimensions for which there is limited or no data unaddressed. For example, it is fair to say that emotions have been neglected from public policy schools, at least as a subject of research. Shouldn't we be thinking about how to reduce sadness in our societies? What about distress or fear? My guess is that we don't focus too much on those questions because we don't have good data, because it is difficult to measure fear or sadness. I know. It is difficult to address this challenge, especially given the time and budget constraints that we will face in our work settings. But at least, be aware of this selection bias and try, whenever possible, to first choose the problem and then determine how to find or build data. Be adventurous. Use the skills learned at Harris to explore new fields and new questions. Second, The political arena is already an uneven playing field. Money, networks, education are not evenly distributed, and data skills and data itself are privileged resources. An excessive emphasis on data may put a strong burden on participants in the public debate that might make the political arena even more imbalanced. Many will not have your skills, your resources, your information, your data, or we at least hope so, given that that is the reason why we paid Harris so much. But that doesn't mean that their voice should be invalidated. Be humble. Don't disregard alternative knowledge just because it doesn't have a regression behind it. Keep it simple. Don't use jargon unless it is needed. In general, don't use your expertise, your UChicago credentials, to exclude or to gain advantage out of an argument from authority. On the contrary, use your expertise and credentials to make knowledge more accessible and democratic. Make data a tool for democracy and not for exclusion. Third, the rationale behind the data-driven approach is that when facing a policy decision, data allows us to take a step back and make the best call. It allows us to distance ourselves from the problem and make the most objective, rational call. This is, of course, a virtue, and it is actually our virtue as Harris graduates. There is, however, a risk of distancing ourselves too much from the problem and losing sight of what our decisions might entail. An infamous dictator allegedly said that one death is a tragedy, but 1,000 deaths are just a statistic. We should distance ourselves from the problems, yes, but not too much. We should always think that a policy resulting in 900 deaths is better than one resulting in 1,000, but we should not forget that 900 deaths are still 900 tragedies. We should connect with the suffering of the many, even though their suffering might seem diluted in the midst of the law of large numbers. My former boss, whom I admire very much, often quotes Bertrand Russell to describe what a democratic social life should be. According to Russell, a good life is a life inspired by love but guided by knowledge. As Harris alumni, we should promote what my former boss calls its social and democratic equivalent, a life inspired by solidarity and empathy while nourished by rational public debate. The invitation then is to use data and your Harris diploma to live a good life individually while promoting a virtuous social life. Follow and defend evidence-based public debate, but please allow solidarity and empathy to be its inspiration. Thank you.
The Harris School has a long-held tradition. Each year at graduation, we invite an alumni of the school to return and offer a message to the graduates. This year's distinguished speaker is alumna Jennifer Tescher. Jennifer graduated from the Harris School with her MPP in 1996. Jennifer is now the president and CEO of the Center for Financial Services Innovation, CFSI, the nation's authority on consumer financial health. Jennifer founded CFSI in 2004 and has since achieved notable success in championing increased access to high-quality financial products and services for underserved consumers. She has become a nationally known expert and thought leader on this topic with a monthly column in American Banker, frequent interviews and articles in the financial press, including several speaking engagements, articles, and speaking engagements at key conferences in the industry. We are both thrilled and thankful to welcome back Jennifer with us today. Please join me in welcoming the 2016 alumni speaker, Jennifer Tescher.
Good morning. So when I got the call from Bora Un, the Director of Alumni Relations, inviting me to address you today, my first thought was that this was a reward for having taken some time this year to get more involved as an alum. I was on the committee for my 20th reunion, which I celebrated last weekend, and I also did a lunch and learn event earlier this winter with some of you. My second thought was, I wonder who the real speaker is. I figured I was supposed to deliver greetings and well wishes from the alumni community, and then one of the august senior statesmen that the Harris School regularly brings to campus would follow with words of wisdom. So imagine my shock when Bora told me that I was the speaker and that I should keep it short. So I tried to think back to how I felt when I was sitting where you are 20 years ago. I remember feeling a distinct joy at having passed Don Corsi's statistics class, but not much else. And so I tried refreshing my memory by doing a Google search for major events of 1996. The Chicago Bulls won their 4th NBA championship that year. Diana and Prince Charles officially divorced. The Summer Olympics were held in Atlanta. That was the Olympics where Muhammad Ali lit the torch. Overseas, terrorists bombed a U.S. military base, Khobar Towers, in Saudi Arabia, killing 19 U.S. servicemen. And back home, the economy was on a real roll. The unemployment rate hovered just above 5%, and the stock market was on a tear, for the first time climbing above 6,000 points. President Bill Clinton had a particularly active year. He signed welfare reform into law. He signed the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty at the United Nations, all of that before going on to defeat Bob Dole and winning re-election as president. As I scrolled down the list of 1996 events, pretty quickly it became clear that 96 was positively placid compared with 2016. Think about what we're facing. The global economy is still fragile post the financial crisis. Growth is too slow and inequality is too high. Student debt is at an all-time high, with no solution in sight for how to change the way we finance a college education. The polar ice cap is melting, temperatures are climbing, sea levels are rising, and we don't seem to be able to reverse the trend. Extremists, such as the Islamic State, are terrorizing people around the globe and calling into question the meaning and methods of war. The United States has less than 5% of the world's population, yet we have almost 25% of the world's total prison population, the majority of whom are men of color. We also have the highest rates of gun ownership in the world, the results of which are all too visible to those of us living in Chicago. And now, when we most need government, our political leaders are polarized and gridlocked. We are living through a presidential election season like none other, and the stakes feel so incredibly high. As a nation and as a global community, we are grappling with a set of existential challenges for which the solutions aren't obvious because, in many cases, the problems we face are without precedent. These are indeed overwhelming and uncertain times. But if I were you, about to graduate with a newly minted public policy degree, I'd feel like a kid in a candy store, because there's no shortage of critical issues to sink your teeth into. So where do you begin? Well, you start by grabbing onto one great question and following it where it takes you. That's certainly been my story. I didn't realize it at the time, but looking back 20 years, I now understand that I came to the Harris School looking for that great question. I was a journalist, and so I was quite familiar with questions. I knew I was interested in poverty, inequality, economic justice, all big, thorny issues. But what I needed was one question to guide my passion and enable me to make a difference. I didn't find it right away. I had a variety of jobs and internships during grad school, trying on different approaches to the big issues that I cared about. An internship at Shorebank right before graduation led me down a path I would never have explored, and multiple jobs later, I finally found my question. How can finance be a force for good in people's lives? And how can dramatic advances in technology expand the opportunity? That question led me to create a new national nonprofit, the Center for Financial Services Innovation. But the journey didn't end there. After all, remember, I formulated my question prior to the 2008 financial crisis and prior to the invention of the iPhone. And so as the world changed, so did my question. Today, we work at the intersection of finance and fintech with the audacious goal of improving financial health in America. The journey continues. All of you came to the Harris School because in some way you want to make a difference. Intractable problems, big challenges, they excite you. And the Harris School has given you the tools to tackle them. The world desperately needs more professionals like you, people who are guided by data and facts and empathy, who see the interconnections between various societal challenges, and who value the importance of institutions. It has been said that a single question has the power to turn a nation around. What's yours? As you embark on the next step in your journey, I challenge you to go forth and find your question. Seize it, dedicate yourself to answering it, and together we will change the world. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Jennifer. Wonderful. Thank you.
I now call upon Dean Diermeyer and the designated faculty and staff that are present here to assist with the presentation of degrees today. Dean Diermeyer, it is my honor to present these students who have completed the program of studies prescribed by the faculty of the Harris School of Public Policy. They have been awarded the degree of Master of Arts by the Board of Trustees.
The trustees have conferred upon you the degree of Master of Arts, and I express the hope that your work will improve our understanding of public policy. Congratulations.
Yu An.
Congratulations.
Jose Javier Balmaceda. Kristen Lynn Hayashi.
Kristen, congratulations.
Songkun Ninlasit Tanukra. Jeremy William Rolinski. Kashuma Shah. Dean Diermeyer, it is my honor to present these students who have completed the program of studies prescribed by the faculty of the Harris School of Public Policy. They have been awarded the degree of Masters of Science by the Board of Trustees.
The trustees have conferred upon you the degree of Masters of Science, and I express the hope that your work will improve our understanding of public policy. Congratulations.
Vanya Lila Brito. Ling Wei Cheng.
Wait.
Christine Elizabeth Cook. Bridget Amanda Donnelly. John Paul Heisel. Mitsue Iwata. Santiago Ladislau Larraín Herrera Ruiz.
Congratulations, General.
Kyle Abram Megida.
Congratulations.
Nathaniel Mambo. Yi Cheng Shen. So Rui Tang. Cheng Zhou. Dean Diermeyer, it is my honor to present these students who have completed the program of studies prescribed by the faculty of the Harris School of Public Policy. They have been awarded the degree of Master of Public Policy by the Board of Trustees.
The trustees have conferred upon you the degree of Masters of Public Policy, and it expressed the hope that your work will guide public policy towards the enhancement of the public good. Congratulations.
Carolina Agutor Salazar. Alejandro Albanez Rivas. Diana Shireen Ali. Bashir El Maklouf. Andrew Alfonso Angeles. Natalia Antas. Manuel Eroganos Mora. Eduardo Aranas Hernandez Jr. Maria Alejandra Arias Calles. Mehmet Serkan Arslan. Noeli Vanessa Artiega. William Bolt. Maurice Bañuelos. Edvardo Bellolio. Helena Elizabeth Ison Bentley. Elisa Blanco. Jack Beyer Brothman. Catherine Diane Brown. Ellen S. Byrne. Amy Cudwater. Robert Patrick Callahan. Luis Javier Carrera Diaz. Brian Kunde Chingano. Sophie Meyer Cohen. Alejandro Cuauhtemoc Mejia. Yvonne A. Davis. Jesus Alejandro Diaz. Pedro Luis de Nacimiento Filo. Hector Manuel Dux. Jillian Leigh Durkin. Fumiaki Abihara. Tess Elizabeth Eckstein. Pablo Aguigueren Fernandez. Candace Elise Elmquist. Jose Rafael Espinosa. Jorge Andres Fantuzzi Mais. Emily A. Feldhake. Claudia Carolina Figueroa. Peter Luis Edwards Fogel. Jorge Marcelo Franco. Michael Lawrence Frank. Hong Kong Gao. Young Fun Gao. Miguel Angel Garcia Paz. Jorge Humberto Gonzalez Hermoso. Matthew Kelvin Green. Emily Claire Haddad. Holly Beth Hagerty.
Holly, congratulations.
Joanna C. Hoffman. Paul Martin Huffman. Zachary Joseph Eisman Honoroff.
Zachary, congratulations.
Chenjin Zihu.
Chenjin Z, congratulations.
Wei Chen Hu. Shafia Imtiaz.
Xavier, congratulations.
Mitsuru Inoue.
Congratulations.
Shinjin. Masayuki Kazato.
Masayuki, congratulations.
Fumi Kojima. Jessica Tsepting Kong. Joshua Kraus. Adam Lechner.
Congratulations, Adam.
Patrick Yongwei Liao.
Congratulations, Patrick.
Ann Lee.
Congratulations, Anne.
Shinmin Yu.
Congratulations.
Daniel Felipe Lopez Sierra.
Congratulations.
Masahiro Mamiya.
Masahiro, congratulations.
Makia Manley.
Mikia, congratulations.
Cristina Martinez Cuellar.
Congratulations.
Rebecca Mason.
Congratulations, Rebecca.
Santiago Matayana Mendez.
Santiago, congratulations.
Raul Ernesto Mejia Ibanez.
Raul, congratulations.
Thank you.
Sophie C.A. Milam.
Congratulations, Sophie.
Kiyoko Morihara. Kohei Okazaki.
Congratulations, Kohei.
Go Woon Park.
Go on, congratulations.
Christian Alexander Pico.
Congratulations.
Cameron Benjamin Peltz.
Congratulations, Cameron.
Michelle Jeanette Perez. Kayla Phelps.
Congratulations.
Aaron David Politsky.
Congratulations.
Andres Ponce de Leon Rosas.
Ponce de Leon.
Oscar Ponce de Leon Salas. Aichiro Studio Paboa.
Congratulations, Ajiro.
Richard Logan Pratt.
Good shot. Congratulations.
Garrick John Prokis.
Garrick, congratulations.
Pavel Ramirez Melpica.
Congratulations.
I inadvertently skipped one name, Emily Parrish.
Congratulations.
Laura Wong Ravinder.
Congratulations, Laura.
Étienne Marie Joseph Ebel Reynaud.
Etienne, congratulations.
Sebastian Alfonso Rivas Vargas. Aaron Stewart Rosenberg.
Scott the Hooding. Congratulations.
Leela China Pri. Aviva Gao Rossman. Suasong Ron.
Congratulations.
Ayan Erin Sanchez Perez.
Congratulations.
Ursina Maria Sheda. Salwa Shamim.
Salva, congratulations.
Aaron Joseph Shattuck. Jianan Shi. David Christopher Simpson.
David, congratulations. Thank you very much.
Sujata Singh.
Sujata, congratulations.
Rebecca Spavins.
Rebecca, congratulations.
Mengzhen Sun.
Yangjin, congratulations.
Thank you.
Asil M. Tina.
Asia, congratulations.
Hirokazu Tsuda. Kotaro Uegeka.
Kotaro, congratulations.
Marianne Shuhura Was. Jonathan Brett Waldron.
Jonathan, congratulations.
Alexander Worofka.
Sana, congratulations.
E. Elizabeth Weiner.
So much.
Congratulations, Elizabeth.
Sean Michael Wiley.
Sean, congratulations.
Yang Zhu.
Angel, congratulations.
Anastasia Yarigina Udovenko.
Anastasia, congratulations.
Giokin Yuan.
Chicken, congratulations.
Wen Zheng.
Yangbin, congratulations.
Hong Ren Jing Durando.
Tom, congratulations.
Zhong Lun Zhao.
Shannon, congratulations.
Thank you.
Julia Yiting Su. Dean Diermeier, the students I now present have attained scholarly distinction in advanced studies and prepared a dissertation that contributes to knowledge in a particular field of research. On behalf of the faculty of the Harris School of Public Policy, I have the honor to present the recipients of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, as confirmed by the Board of Trustees.
The trustees have conferred upon you the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, and I welcome you to this ancient and honorable company of scholars. Congratulations.
Pablo Andres Saleh Balmaceda. Jonathan Martin Villers Davis. Carolina Mendez. Rebecca Meyerson. Carolyn Mary Sloan. Álvaro Sebastián Gallegos Valleos. I would now like to introduce Dean Daniel Diermeier to make closing remarks.
Class of 2016 Harris School graduates, congratulations. Today is but it's also a time to look forward to all of the amazing yet challenging work ahead of you. It's a time for reflection on all that you have accomplished so far, and it's a time of gratitude for the people who have supported us all along the way. Our moms, our dads, our siblings, our grandparents, our spouses, our partners, maybe even our sons and daughters, our friends. They all deserve a round of applause too. Today is a very special day as we welcome the new class of Harris graduates. It has not been an easy journey. I know this because we at Harris pride ourselves on the rigor of our curriculum and in challenging the way our students think about the world. I congratulate you for taking this challenge, and it's now up to you to make the most of your Harris education. We have high expectations for all of you. Our students come to us with an ambition to make a difference, and they graduate with a set of skills that enable them to become effective policy leaders. Our alumni and alumni are thriving in a wide range of fields, but they're united by their commitment to figuring out what's best for society and for getting it done. It has never been a more interesting and more challenging time to be in public policy. We are facing tremendous challenges of growing complexity, but we also have better tools and methodologies at our disposal than ever before. This requires a new generation of smarter, bolder policy leaders that put evidence first. And Harris and its faculty, students and alumni are leading the way. Whether you want to become the Minister of Finance, be a community organizer, lead a nonprofit, or start a social enterprise, you'll need to operate in an often politically charged environment characterized by competing interests and driven by public opinion. You'll need innovative, evidence-based ideas and the convictions to carry them through. As you reflect back on your time here, from your very first day of math camp, when you probably asked yourself, what on earth did I get myself into? To the hours you spend on daunting problem sets for our core classes, be confident that Harris has prepared you for a world that needs evidence-based insights more than ever. The University of Chicago is unique in its devotion to rigorous inquiry and its commitment to creating and furthering knowledge for the social good. At Harris, we pride ourselves on upholding these values and offering our students the most analytical curriculum that exists in the area of public policy. While particular approaches may come and go, especially as we enter an era of new technologies and big data, the core values of the school will continue to serve you well. On a personal note, as many of you know, this will be my last time that I will serve in my role as Dean of the Harris School. I'm deeply grateful for your support and sometimes challenge during these 2 years. You and I started together, and now it's time for the next chapter. The school is in excellent hands with Dean Charles, and I can't wait to see it ascend to new heights. Be assured that you will have a strong supporter in the provost office just across the Midway. This is a special day. You're now graduates of the Harris School. You're now graduates of the University of Chicago. As you embark on this new phase of your life, remember what you learned here, the tools you gained, and the commitment you developed. The commitment to public policy, putting evidence first. Now go forth and change the world. You're a legacy, you're ambassadors, and we're awfully proud of you. Congratulations.
This concludes our Harris hooding ceremony. Please remain seated until the faculty, party, and graduates have formally processed from the auditorium. Afterwards, I invite you to join us at our reception in the courtyard. I hope you remain with us for today to celebrate this very special day. Again, congratulations to all of our graduates.
Thank you.